It's beginning to look a lot like elections. There are 6 days before Christmas, 23 days before Taiwan heads to the polls. I'm Andrew Ryan.
I'm Natalie So. Let's take a look first at the stories on our radar this week.
Taiwan will soon become home to a maintenance facility for F-16 fighter jets. That's after the US-based Lockheed Martin signed a partnership with Taiwan's state-run aerospace company AIDC. Premier Su Zhenchang says the goal is for Taiwan to become the regional maintenance center for F-16s. The employees of Far Eastern Air Transport are urging the Transportation Ministry to reinstate the airline's permit to fly. The ministry revoked the permit last week after the airline's chairman announced without warning that he was ceasing operations. The chairman tried to reinstate flights a day later but was unable to do so without the permit. The drama unfolding at Far Eastern has shocked the industry and impacted over 5,000 travelers. A Taiwanese professional baseball team, the Lamigo Monkeys, has been renamed the Rakuten MONKEYS. Rakuten is the name of the Japanese conglomerate that bought the team back in September. The team unveiled its new jersey design along with the new name on Thursday. The Taipei city government has backpedaled on a regulation that prevented foreign nationals from using U-Bikes, the city's popular shared bike service. The service informed users they would have to re-register but required a Taiwanese ID number to do so. After hearing from a Bloomberg reporter about the move and the resulting uproar online, Taipei Mayor Kuo-yu ordered U-Bike to fix the problem immediately. Foreign tourists, however, will still be required to use a credit card and put down a deposit. And finally, one of the stories under the radar, fishermen in Pingdong County, southern Taiwan, had a pleasant surprise earlier this week as they saw a sudden rush of eel fry in the water. Some were able to catch over $33,000 worth of eel in one night. Experts say they were brought to the region by a black current of warm water from the south.
And now for our words of the week. Are you ready to guess my word of the week, Andrew?
Yes, let's see what you have.
Alrighty.
Experience. Exonerate. Exciting. Excitement.
That's right. Very close. All right, so there's a lot of excitement this time of year because it's a holiday season. We have Christmas, we have New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, and also we have elections. We're going to elect our next president in about 3 weeks, so there's a lot of excitement about the elections.
All right, that's a great word. It's also great for Christmas too, right?
Yes, of course.
All right, you ready for my word?
Opinionated? Opinions? Opinion.
Opinion. And the reason why I chose opinion is because you know what they say about opinions. Everybody has one. Now, opinions are very important when you're choosing a president, so we want to know what our elected leaders think or our candidates think. However, when it comes to opinion polls, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later on, you actually can't talk about those in the 10 days running up to the election. So we'll tell you a little bit more about that in today's Taiwan Explained.
All right, let's put these up on the shelf.
Also in today's show, have a look at this. This Christmas tree is 15 meters tall and it's made of something unexpected. Just a little hint, it's something that's usually under the tree, not on the tree. So where in Taiwan is this and what is this Christmas tree made of? We'll have those answers for you later on in our show.
Let's go straight to election coverage. Taiwan kicked off its official campaign period this weekend for the 2020 presidential elections, which are set to take place on January 11th. The official 28-day campaign period for the presidential election began this past weekend and lasts until January 10th, the day before the election. On the ballot, the candidates will be number 1, the People First Party's chairman James Song and former broadcasting mogul Sandra Yu. Number 2, for the Kuomintang Kaohsiung Mayor Han Kuo-yu and former Premier Simon Zhang. And number 3, for the Democratic Progressive Party, President Ing-wen and former Premier William Lai. Central Election Commission Chairperson Lee Jing-yong said that campaign activities and media coverage must be between 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. There's a ban on announcing any election polls during the last 10 days before the election and during the vote. The commission is using social media for the first time this election and will announce the results on YouTube and Facebook first. The commission is also calling on news outlets to include the official CEC figures as they broadcast the results.
Now, as you just heard, there's a complete blackout on election opinion polls in the 10 days running up to the elections. So we're going to talk about them now while we still can. In fact, that's the subject of today's Taiwan Explained. With just about 3 weeks left before elections here in Taiwan, in today's Taiwan Explained, I want to talk about opinion polls.
All right, you have 60 seconds to do that. You ready, Andrew?
I think so.
Go.
Let's start off with the rules. Now, here in Taiwan, there's a 10-day blackout on opinion polls before the elections, and that's long by international standards. Now, on one end of the spectrum, places like the US and the UK don't have blackouts. On the other end, places like China don't allow election opinion polls at all. Now, countries in the region with significant blackouts include not just Taiwan, but also South Korea, Indonesia, and Singapore. Now, during the 2016 elections, several politicians and media outfits were fined for talking about opinion polls. That was a $500,000 fine, which is about $15,000 US at the time. So what do the polls say with just 3 weeks left? Let's have a look at what the lineup looks like on Wikipedia. They have a list of all the latest polls. You can see the incumbent Tsai Ing-wen in green has about 50% of the vote and a comfortable lead in all the polls in December. Now, the polls might not be reliable this year. Why is that? Well, that's because the main opposition candidate, Kaohsiung Mayor Han Kuo-yu from the KMT, was struggling in the polls, and he called on his supporters to lie to pollsters and say that Tsai was who they preferred as the candidate.
Very good. Just a few words there, right?
Just a few words over.
Okay, I have a couple questions for you, Andrew.
Sure.
So why do you think Taiwan is one of the countries with a long blackout for the polls?
Okay, well, the reason for these blackouts is because they want to make sure that the opinion polls don't have an effect on the election. Because I think in previous years there have been claims that this is had an effect. And also because they're not really sure that these opinion polls are true or not. And there could be a couple concerns. If it looks like your candidate is ahead in the polls, you might not vote. Yeah.
And since there's so many surveys going on, which sources do you recommend or do you like to go to?
Well, I don't want to recommend a specific pollster. What I would like to do is actually guide you towards some aggregators. So there are people who actually look at a lot of different ones. So the first one is News Lens. They have a fantastic interactive graphic that has a lot of different events from the election cycle. You can see on the left there, the Hong Kong protests begin. And you can drag that back and forth and see what the polls look like at different points during the campaign. Now, another site that I want to point you to is Frozen Garlic. Now, the name is interesting. It comes from the Taiwanese way to say, get elected, Dong Suan, right? So this is actually by a political scientist, Nathan Bato, who's at Academia Sinica. He has some really interesting insight into whether Han Kuo-yu's ploy to ruin the opinion polls is working or not. I think you should read the whole article, and we'll actually post that article in the information below. But in essence, he says that Han might have increased the level of uncertainty a little bit about the polls, but the bad news for Han coming from the polls is pretty convincing.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Thank you very much, Andrew. And we'll have links to those sources below. And that's our Taiwan Explained for the week. Taiwan's 3 presidential candidates presented their first televised policy platforms on Wednesday. Let's see what they had to say about the future of Taiwan.
Long live the ROC. Long live the ROC. Long live the ROC. I hope you say it boldly, otherwise please shout out Taiwan independence.
That was KMT presidential candidate Han Kuo-yu, and the response from his main rival, President Tsai Ing-wen.
Earlier this year, China proposed the one country, two systems formula for Taiwan. While the whole country was upset about it, Mayor Han visited China's liaison office in Hong Kong, giving the impression he supports the formula. KMT legislator-at-large candidates make the public uneasy, and that's why young people feel hopeless about the country's future.
PFP Chairman James Song promised to put the country on the right track.
When I take office, I will make things right. Independence and unification are both impossible in the next 4 years.
Song has positioned himself as a third option to the two main parties. He urged the two parties to remain calm so as not to put Taiwan's democracy to shame.
I feel very strongly today that I am proud to be Taiwanese and that Taiwan can have such a democratic and open event, allowing people to express different views on TV.
Now, the three presidential candidates will have two more opportunities to talk about their policies on TV. The vice presidential candidates will also have that same opportunity. But what's most interesting is this past week, the three presidential candidates agreed to hold a debate. Now, that's going to take place on December 29th. They'll be fielding questions from each other and from a variety of different reporters from different media.
Today's topic is the destination where many people like to go watch the sunrise on the first day of the year. That's in Taitung at Sanxiantai. It's there's a little island over there that has a breathtaking view when you go to the top. Have you guys been there before?
I've been there many years ago. Weren't you in Taitung last week?
I just got back from Taitung and I didn't go there.
Okay.
No.
Too late,
You can
Natalie.
still go on New Year's Day if you want. Anyway, I want to ask you guys, how high is the highest point of that island above sea level?
Ooh. I don't know. You want to say first?
Taipei 101 is like 500 meters, so I'm going to go 250.
250.
Half of that.
I'm going to go 300.
Okay, 250 and 300. Well, before we tell you the answer, let's take a look at what some couples are doing there and how they're enjoying the view.
Sanxiantai is one of the most unforgettable places on Taiwan's east coast. It is a hotspot for wedding photos and videos. With the help of a drone, this couple shot a memorable video where the groom gave the bride a touching surprise. The spot is also famous for its unique arched bridge, which crosses over from the coast to a small offshore island. It makes for quite a backdrop. Sanxiantai is also popular among those who like to watch the first sunrise of the new year. And this New Year's Day, the administration of the East Coast National Scenic Area is hoping to use Sanxiantai's association with romance to bring in even more visitors. For the coming sunrise celebration on New Year's Day, the administration is offering a free package to 20 lucky married couples. If you propose or taken wedding photos at Sanxiantai, or are celebrating your 20th day, month, or year of marriage, or if your wedding anniversary falls on January 1st or the 20th of any month, you are eligible to apply. 20 selected couples will enjoy free accommodations and a New Year's Eve meal and can enjoy the first sunrise of 2020 at Sanxiantai. But you have to be quick. The deadline to apply is December 25th.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
And the government's giving 20 special couples the opportunity to have a special sunrise package there. But you guys guessed about the highest point, right? You guessed 300?
Yes.
And you guessed 250 meters?
Yes.
Let's take a look at the answer.
77.
It's actually not that high. It's not that
Oh.
hard to climb, but it's still beautiful. Breathtaking scenery.
It looks really high, and I think that's what's great because if you're getting your photo taken there, then it looks like you've
Right.
climbed this amazing mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys should check it out. It's not that hard to climb, actually.
Oh,
So,
Perfect for us.
so also the place is famous for this iconic bridge that looks like a dragon or the waves. It has arches. How many arches does it have?
Ooh, I think I know.
All right, then you go first.
Well, usually they do like 9 for these things, right? Like 9 turns bridge or 9.
Is that your guess?
Yeah,
9?
I'll say
okay, 9. And how about Leslie?
I'm going for a lucky 7.
Lucky
7
7.
arches.
Ooh.
Okay, let's take a look at the answer.
Oh,
Right in between. Lucky 8. Lucky 8.
lucky 8.
Remember?
yes.
Lucky 8
Right,
for,
lucky 8.
for
Sounds like
Taiwan.
prosperity,
I'm in
right?
Taiwan.
Right. So isn't that a cool bridge?
It's very cool.
And then the next question. Oh, there is a lot of fish and coral along the coast. That's something that people may not know about. Now, how many species of coral are there?
Oh, wow.
I know nothing about coral.
Oh, wow.
Let's
I
take
like
a wild
coral.
guess.
Coral's good.
It's beautiful down there. I mean, it's a great place to go diving. So
I'm going to say 7.
7.
That's not a lot.
Is that a lot?
Is that a lot or is that not a lot? I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know.
13?
13.
Lucky 13.
Let's take a look at the answer.
Oh,
Over 150 species.
talk about biodiversity, man.
Yeah, it's a
Seriously.
great place. It's a pristine area, right? There's not a lot of people around there, except for on New Year's Day. So a lot of people are going there on New Year's Day, on New Year's Eve, and they're going to get there around 4 in the morning and start partying and everything. Now, what time is the sunrise supposed to come out on January 1st, 2020?
Oh, wow. You're asking somebody
At Sanxiantai.
Okay, I don't get up that early, so I don't know. Maybe you have a better idea.
It's winter right now, right?
Yeah.
So I wake up to go to the bathroom at night at like 5:30 in the morning. It's still kind of dark out there.
Oh.
So I would say 6:17 in the morning.
6:17, okay.
Okay, I'm going to say earlier than that. I'm going to say on the 5 side. 5:58.
5:58.
Do you like the specificity?
6:17. All right, let's take a look at the answer.
Oh,
6:11, kind of in between,
Andrew,
but I think you're a little closer, right?
In the middle of the night.
those midnight bathroom
Right.
bakes. Yeah.
So-
Or early
See,
morning.
I never thought it would help out, but look at this. Look at me now.
Yeah. All right.
So that's a place to go for New Year's Day if you want to see the sunrise, the first sunrise in Taiwan.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for that, Natalie. And that's today's Taiwan by Number.
On Who in Taiwan, our mystery person is a political commentator. Now, on the green button, we have Leslie, and the red button is Andrew. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right. So, this person is a longtime member of the Friends of Bian Club, which refers to Chen Sui-bian. This person is a member of the Friends of Ing Club, referring to Tsai Ing-wen. This person has had an arranged marriage and has 3 children. This person famously earns less than his wife, who is the director of pediatrics for Taipei City Hospital. Who?
I think this is Koenja, is it?
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let me tell you more about him. He just started a political party, the Taiwan People's Party. He helped save the life of the person who later became his political rival when he ran for mayor. He's also a famous professor, doctor, and politician. And this week, he said something very interesting. Well, he recently said he's going to run in 2024.
Right.
And he said this week, if he runs, he's going to move the presidential office out of the presidential building. This is him saying this exact thing this week. He said he's going to move it to Dodds near us.
Oh, wow.
Okay, near the National Defense Ministry. And he said he's going to turn the presidential office into a museum or a luxury hotel. He said it's too much space. You don't need that much space for an office.
Really?
Yeah.
He also said something like it's not befitting of a president. It was built, I think, for a governor
Japanese.
of Japan, right?
Right. That's exactly, that's another major reason. But he's not even running yet, but he's already campaigning.
I think that's his style. Like he says some very unusual things, and I think that he's very good at commanding the news cycle.
Oh yeah, he says a lot of really crazy things.
He doesn't even look too sure of himself in this picture.
His gestures are quite interesting. He's like he scratches his head a lot, and
He's thinking about it.
scratches. So, anyways, he's going to be in the next campaign 4 years from now.
Oh,
He said if he's healthy.
He said to come back and ask him in 2023. So.
Well, of course, he could
Yeah.
change his mind, but
Yeah.
He's still like in the news cycle. Kind
That's
of fun
right.
to
Way
hear
to
from
launch
him
a
once in a while.
campaign, man.
Yeah.
But his party is running in the legislative election. So, so-
Interesting to see if they pick up some seats in the
yes,
legislature.
that's right.
All right.
So that is Who in Taiwan for the week.
This week on #Taiwan, dating. Now, guys, like most other things, I tend to fail miserably at, and I'm saying like crash and burn fail.
Oh, Leslie.
I like to leave it to people who know exactly what they're doing. Like this guy, his name is Potter, and I got a video for you.
总统就是你知道，现场很多人都喜欢你，有些甚至会把你当成偶像，但是我没有把你当成偶像，我把你当成我的结婚对象。我要你要准备把他架走了。总统，我觉得你如果再继续跟我相处一阵子的话，你可能会变坏人，你知道为什么吗？因为我想把你宠坏。
请问你在网络上骗了没有？这个是你自己想的吗？
对，我自己想的。
啊，你要昭告天下，这个人蛮危险的。
He's good, isn't
That guy's
he?
hilarious.
He's very funny.
Pretty good.
I love that.
His name is Potter King, and he's a very popular YouTuber here in Taiwan. His videos focus on dating advice, and you gotta admit, he's pretty good. He gets a rise
out of President Tsai Ing-wen, who I usually see as a very stoic and reserved kind of person. Now, leading up to the election, President Tsai has been making a lot of social media videos with popular internet celebrities here in Taiwan. Potter King is one of these guys. Now, Potter King is also very, very popular in China, and as you might imagine, authorities there were not very happy about a famous internet figure appearing in a video with the president of Taiwan. Now, usually on #Taiwan, I like to give you the abridged version of any story, but we have a very special opportunity here because Potter King actually publicly released his conversation with an agency that represents him in China called PoppyTube. Now, I've translated the conversation for you, and the text in white is PoppyTube, and the text in green is Potter's company. Now, take a look. When one of the representatives from the agency saw the video, they said, "Potter, Taiwan president, can you delete the video? Do you think this is okay because the video is not on Weibo," Weibo being the huge Chinese social media website. He says, "Are you endorsing Taiwanese independence? Get back to us once you see this." Now, Potter, being a very snarky person, said, "If Xi Jinping wants to do a video with me, I'd do that too." The agency gets back to him and says, "Potter, the problem is with Taiwan president." They keep going and they say, "You need to delete this immediately. This is very serious. This video, we're going to have to terminate our contract." Now, Potter's partner, Mars, actually chimes in and he says, "Go ahead, terminate the contract." And they say, "Please delete it." He goes on to say, "I will ask you one more time. Will you delete it?" Asking for confirmation whether or not they will delete the video in question. To which Mars says, "Not a chance. What right do you have to tell us to delete our video? Our head of state visits us and you want us to delete it? Does our contract forbid us from taking pictures with Taiwan's president? Are you really that afraid? Is it really that scary over there in China?"
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's review. The big problem here is with, more than anything, calling Tsai a Taiwan president. Now, Potter also says that our Weibo account with over 1 million followers has been seized. We operated it ourselves and now the password has been changed. We cannot log in. Wow. Now, the more interesting thing here is KMT presidential candidate Han Kuo-yu actually came out in support of Potter King. He actually said that Chinese companies should not penalize Taiwanese individuals in this way and that economic matters and political matters should stay separated.
That's interesting. He's more of a pro-China candidate, so it's interesting to see that, him protecting the rights of Taiwanese netizens.
I think it's for his image, because I think most of the people in Taiwan would side with Potter King to have the freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's also very smart of the president to visit a guy like that to get all this attention. Also, he's in Kaohsiung.
You don't really see her in that light, right? Like, you don't, and then
no,
this
it's
guy
so
just
casual
comes
and
along.
fun, and it's really hilarious.
It's a different side of the president than we usually see,
right.
for sure.
And it's a good campaign strategy, good publicity.
I wanted to find something Christmas related, but this is the news of the hour.
Well, thanks, Leslie. And that is #Taiwan for this week. Leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you.
And finally today, where in Taiwan? Now, at the top of the show, we showed you a photo and asked if you knew where it was. Let's take one more look at that photo now.
We told you that this Christmas tree is made out of things that are usually found under the Christmas tree.
So where in Taiwan is this Christmas tree, and what is on the Christmas tree? Well, let's take a look at this video.
This massive Christmas tree is located at a roundabout in Puli in central Taiwan. Covered in lights, it looks like a run-of-the-mill Christmas tree, but take a closer look and you'll see it's covered in second-hand plastic toys. Everything from cars and pianos to excavators and robots. Maxing out at 15 meters, this is the tallest tree in Taiwan that's made out of recyclables. To build it, workers constructed a pyramid-shaped frame, wrapped it in netting, and then covered it in toys, paying close attention to size and color. Chen Jukai is the mastermind behind the project. He says they collected toys from 8,000 local children. The goal is to encourage kids to cherish the toys that they have, so that more plastic doesn't end up in the dump.
Well, we really hope you enjoyed this Christmas edition of Taiwan Insider this week. Be sure to connect with us on social media.
Yes, and leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. For Taiwan Insider, I am Natalie So.
I'm Leslie Liao.
And I'm Andrew Ryan. Merry Christmas.